first thing anyways, we're going to change the fuel filters, because I notice that for whatever reason, our primary fuel filter, which is this one over here, and this is our secondary fuel filter, so this is the finer one. This is a water separated primarily, so it collects water that gets mixed in with the fuel, and the water that gets mixed in the fuel pretty well falls down here. It's very, very murky. I've never seen this like this. I've got a little mirror here, but it's really bad. So I'm going to change this out because I've never changed it anyway, so it's probably a good time to change it. Either one of them has never been changed. We've had the boat for, this is going to be our 5th year now. So we're going to do this. I have 2 replacement filters, so I have to put something down here, make sure I can collect any sort of fuel that comes out of it once I take out the filter, and replace the other, put in the new filter. I'll have to wash out this container over here, the plastic container, wash it out, clean it out nicely, and put it back in. Before I do this, I have to go and fish for the fuel shutoff valve, which I don't know where it is. Hoping it's somewhere back there where the fuel tank is, because I don't see anything else going back over here. So, at least not over here, I don't see anything. I'm going to see if I can find that, because I don't want all the fuel to drain out of my tank. And so, why don't I do that?
It's good to put those oil pads underneath the fuel filter, so if there are any spills, the pads will catch them.
So, I'm about ready to remove this old filter. I've already shut off the fuel over by the tank. There is a valve just above the tank, so I shut that off, and now I think I can remove this. I got my container over here. Hopefully that'll be big enough container to collect all the fuel that comes out. Let me see if I can drain it out first. I wonder if that would work. There's a bleeder line over here for...
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah, this is to clear it out. See how gucky it is.
Let's see.
Oh, it is horrible. I'm not even sure if this fuel is... if the fuel that I'm wondering if the fuel we have in the fuel tank is this bad. If that's the case, we may end up with a big problem down the line. Okay, now I gotta get this thing out. That is some ugly fuel. I have never seen the fuel like this in my tank, in my primary filter. No, it wasn't like this at all last year or previous years. It's never been like this. There's always a little bit of sediment down at the bottom. Okay, she's coming. So this year we only run the engine from the when we launched it. So basically from the ramp where it was launched. Oops. Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff in here. Ouch. Put this in here. Mind you, this fuel that's up above, doesn't seem to be as bad. So maybe I'm hoping that that was just the stuff down at the bottom, which it's what it's supposed to do. So basically, this filter is supposed to extract all the growth in the fuel, which is what happens when you get the diesel. Right now I really can't elaborate on it too much because I have to read up on it. But there is also this growth that can develop in the fuel. And it then collects down here at the bottom. That's what this is supposed to do. So right now I'm not answering that phone. Right now I have to take this out. So there's definitely fuel mixed in with water here. Okay. I'm going to replace this part, the R12T, but I have to keep this. So in the past, I think I've always had a little bit of this sediment in here inside my fuel filter. I've taken pictures of it over the time. There was always a little bit in there. I always tried draining it out, but it would never really drain out. So now I'm going to see if I can clean this out and put a new filter on and put it back on. So I've just finished cleaning out. Oh. Okay, so I finished cleaning out the housing. Okay, so I just went outside the boat to clean out my my housing, the view glass for the water separator, and it is best if I had to use some of the leftover diesel, some of the diesel that came out of it. So it was not very good, but anyways, I used this. This is the diesel that came out that you can see is very murky and very dark and ugly. So I have a new filter to put in, the water separator filter. This is the new filter. If you compare it against the old filter, okay, so it's got a bit of gunky stuff over here on the outside, which is the water when it mixes in with the fuel, and then on the other side you can see there's already some rust going on. I don't know if this is rust or if it's just, yeah, it's a combination of rust because of the water that gets into it. So I'm exchanging. This is the fuel that's back. I believe it's the one that's coming out of my fuel pump. The fuel pump on the engine going back towards the filter. So this would be the outgoing from the filter. This is the fuel that was going towards the engine already, past the filter. So it's very, very clean in comparison to what the other one was. Whoops, did I just spill something? Hope not. Anyways, so what I'm going to do is, it is recommended that you put a little bit of, you moisten the O-rings in diesel, so that way they go on better. And there we go. So this is the old one, this is the new one. Put it on. I am going to now this one goes on here. That's where it goes, I see. Very much like an oil filter. So ideally the fuel comes in through this hole from the fuel tank, drops all the way down to the bottom of this canister, and if there's any water is heavier than the diesel, it'll basically collect down at the bottom, and then you can drain it out. And then it gets, basically the pump just sucks it up through the filter system, which is a paper fan-like system like you have on an air filter on a vehicle. I better put this back on before I lose all my fuel. Okay, so now I think I'm ready to put the filter back on. Not catching anything yet. Whoop. So I'm still trying to replace this filter over here. I thought for some reason I could not get the thread to catch, to engage. But now I think I kind of figured out what the problem is. and that is that there's an O-ring inside here that I guess there's a little shaft. I went with a mirror and I noticed that there's a little shaft that comes down, and you got to push this into that shaft, and then it's going to catch onto the thread. So I better start doing that now, because I can still see my fuel is dripping. I think it's dripping out of my hose going into the engine or into the fuel filter, into the fuel pump, and all that's it's back feeding, because I closed the inlet into the filter here. Okay, it's good. Okay, it's going in. I think I got it. Okay, I think I finally put it back on. So the filter is on. I'm not going to open the fuel yet. Since we've had this boat for 5 years now, I've never changed the filters. I don't know when it was changed before. So I just changed the primary fuel filter, or the water separator filter, and now I'm going to change the secondary filter. Well, I need a wrench for this one. Do I have a wrench for this? Because the other one wasn't on there all that tight. It came out nice and easy.
I guess they should be hand tied, but not to the point where you need a wrench to.
Yeah, usually no. It's you just tighten it and then you like 3/4 turn and that's it.
Yeah.
I got a wrench. Do I have a wrench this for the filter? Because I don't know if I got a wrench for the oil filter, because the oil filter, I've changed that. I don't know if it was always by hand or if I actually bought a wrench. I don't remember seeing one. That's the only thing. So I've already changed out the primary fuel filter, or the water separator filter, but I still have to put fuel in it. I just put it back in, but I don't have to fill it up with diesel. Now I'm in the process of changing out the secondary fuel filter over here at the engine, and I'm going to do that. I'm setting it up so that I can, in case there's any spillage, it does not go into the bilge. We don't want that going into the bilge and then going into the lake. I'm just preparing this over here. I got my my absorbent pads. I got my absorbing pads, and I'm going to put a little canister here to collect any fuel that may leak out of the filter. Okay, so I have my strap wrench. Now I got to undo it this way, clockwise. Let me see if this is size looks okay. Yeah, the size looks okay. I will be putting this container over here underneath it. Holy crap, this thing does not want to go. Holy crap. Oh, it's not coming out. I get the grip. It just doesn't want to. It's seized. Might say. Sometimes tapping it helps loosen it if it's seized. It is not budging. Yeah, it's going. Okay, here we go. Finally. I wonder what the problem with this thing was. There we go. Okay. So now I can use the hand. Oops, there's a few. That's probably what. This thing's a little bit rusty, eh? I need another container. I gotta put the other one back on right away. This is the old fuel filter. A little bit of rust on it. Take a look at it when I get back home. Don't know why exactly it was that tight. I don't know if it was just the gasket. I think it was just the gasket. So somebody just really tightened it a lot. So I'm gonna fill up this new fuel filter with diesel. We're putting it on. And it's not very well. Okay. Anyways, fresh diesel from the pump. Oops. Careful not to overflow. Okay, here we go. Finally. A lot of diesel lost here. I don't know if there's a better way of doing this. It's finally on. So let me see something. Okay, come on, give it a 3/4 turn. It's tight right now. I think that's about it. So I was about ready to give up on this, and just about ready to put it all away. I already cleaned up the floor, put most of the tools away, and I decided to give one more shot. So I grabbed the strap wrench again. And this time I did a little bit differently. I was always just putting continuous pressure on it. When I did this time, I was just jerking it a little bit, and I noticed it was getting a little bit loose. So I just continued doing that, and sure enough, it came loose, and I got it out. But I think going forward, I'll try and change out these filters a little bit more often. We've had the boat for 5 years. We haven't changed out the fuel filter. This is our 5th year, so for 4 years we did not change out the filters, the fuel filters. I'll change the oil. I change it every year, but I will definitely be changing out the fuel filter more regularly. Maybe not every year, but at least once every 2 years, just so that everything keeps a little bit looser. So now I still have to fill up the other filter with the diesel.
If you're interested in following our sailing on Lake Ontario on our Catalina Capri 26 Odyssey, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any episode. Thank you for watching. Much appreciated.